Hello, fellow cinephiles, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Talk Film to Me podcast, where we talk about films in Kenya and beyond. I'm your host, Nkatha. Let's talk film. So, today we are doing things a little bit different. Not actually different, better. Today, I have a guest with me who is my co-host. She's my best friend.
Oh my god.
We've worked together. We have a very good working relationship, and I'm really
Right.
glad that she could jump in on this one.
I mean,
She's an amazing producer, but I'll let her toot her own.
hi everyone. My name is Tracy, Amadi, and I'm a filmmaker. I'm a storyteller. Can I say specialized? Not really, but apparently I enjoy producing. Yeah,
You're quite good at it.
I try.
I mean, you're on Showmax.
Well, we thank God. Ni God.
Ni God.
Ni God.
Ni God.
Ni God. Yeah. So I'm a producer, director at Affinity Pictures Perspective, and I'm really glad to be here. I am honored, actually, to be here
No.
to be talking about film in Kenya
In Kenya and
Yeah.
beyond.
and beyond.
And beyond.
I'm excited. I'm humbled to be here. Thanks.
Thanks for coming, Tracy. I really, really appreciate this. All right, guys. So today I'm not going to be talking alone. So let's get into it. So today we are going to be talking about An Instant Dad. It's a Kenyan film on Netflix. Again, guys, it's on Netflix. So if you haven't watched it, you do not have an excuse for this. Just pause right there, go watch the film, and then come back and listen to this podcast because we are going to be giving spoilers. And what's the point of listening to a review without watching the film?
Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, An Instant Dad is a story about a serial bachelor whose 10-year-old daughter suddenly appears on his doorstep and he must open his heart and learn to be a father. It's a very, very good story, very heartfelt, nothing heavy, but very relatable. So I'll start by talking about the characters, the directors, and probably I don't know some of the crew that we saw in this.
Yeah.
So let's start with the director, Jennifer Gatero. I mean, if you don't know Jennifer, we can tell how long you have been in the film industry.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, this woman is brilliant. The fact that she wrote and directed the script, yeah, amazing. So we have Blessing Lungaho, we have Tori Washanga, and we have our 10-year-old Hannah Wanjiko. An amazing, like the casting is amazing. This they all fit, yeah.
they did.
Mhm.
They did. I really liked Blessing
Yeah,
as the dad, and Hannah. Oh, Hannah was amazing.
yeah,
I mean, for a 10-year-old, and this story is sort of heavy
yeah,
emotion wise because
yeah.
we're
yeah.
talking about a single dad.
Okay, yeah.
You
I
haven't
see, yeah.
you've never seen your dad before.
Mhm.
Your mom has just passed on,
Yeah,
and your grandma has been taken to the home of the elderly.
yeah,
So you've been left at the doorstep
yeah.
of this stranger who you have to call dad.
Mhm.
So you can imagine the kind of emotion
That is
this
going
kid,
through.
this kid is going through.
I
And
had not
she-
thought of it that way. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She nailed it.
Yeah.
She carried her emotions so maturely.
Yeah.
I'm like, kudos to the director, Jennifer. That was brilliant. Like, that was brilliant directing. You'd see, like the actor Hannah.
Yeah.
She was able to bring out this emotion, and I think it's also the help of the director because
Yeah.
you're the one who has this character.
Yeah.
So you actually, you have these actors on set.
Yeah.
And I really loved Blessing on this. I think I must say this is my this is my best performance of him. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Like I've watched Blessing before.
Yeah.
But I think he really nailed this.
He brought this character out very, very well. I agree with you.
I believed everything. And like I said, kudos to Jennifer. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Avant films. I mean, I have watched you from Nairobi.
Yeah.
And I've seen growth.
Yeah.
I've seen growth.
Yeah.
Even in the writing, like this film is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful story. I love the story. I love what the issues they are tackling.
Yeah.
How do you explain to your 10-year-old daughter that I didn't know you existed? The daughter feels like my father didn't want me.
Yeah.
These tough conversations are what, like, we are, as millennials, we are experiencing right now. Yet generation has changed.
Yeah.
So we have
it's very different now.
So many single parents. Others, maybe they just don't know, like, there is a child out there.
Yeah, and we're out here bashing them out for being deadbeats.
Exactly. So that's one thing I really loved about this film. I mean, it looked at a point of not really deadbeat, because I'm pretty sure, yes, he comes off, like, when the film starts, he comes off as this, what is it called? He's a don't care, kind of a guy. He's a vibes and inshallah kind of a person.
Your typical millennial. 28-year-old
to
going to 30.
And like it's just vibes and inshallah. Missing a stucky settle down right now. I mean, maybe too many vibes. But then you get this responsibility and you're like, how do I deal with that? So I felt like that was really, really beautiful. Man, this story, you guys should watch it.
You guys should watch this film.
Look at how we're spoiling for them.
I loved it. And I mean, having also Moses Osiliana on the crew list, I could tell, okay, we're good with the cinematography.
The cinematography was beautiful.
I know, right?
Like, what I really loved about the cinematography about this specifically is it's a family story. So there were not crazy shots. It wasn't like over ambitious or anything. It was just, we are, I realized there were lots of close-ups. Because it's very emotional. Because it's all family. And capturing the emotions of a 10-year-old. Damn. Like, they really did a good job. They did a good job.
And they didn't even miss. Like, this girl delivered in all. Like, I could feel her emotions, and you could tell this is definitely a 10-year-old.
Exactly.
They are not too mature, and they're not childish. It's like a child who's growing up, who's learned, who's already picking up things, who's aware of things that are going on in her environment. And they're able to communicate them effectively. And that's 10-year-olds are able to do that. They can tell you what they're thinking, especially immediately without thinking. Especially the ones now. Gen Alpha.
No, this one's Alpha.
Gen Alpha. Amazing.
They tell you as it is. And it was really beautiful for that, because it's like, how are we raising our children? And the fact that we are talking about grief. This is a very heavy topic. And most of us don't know how to grieve. And that is one thing that really stood out for me in the film, is like, how do you handle grief? So look at it from a 10-year-old's perspective. She has just lost her mom. Her mom is her best friend. How is she going to, you're not going to trust someone you've never met. You just told this is your dad. How is she going to process all that? And that's when we talk about the character arc. I feel like Hannah was a very well written character. Because we'd see the moment we see her to the end. And also Blessing's character, like, that was a very well written character. We'd see at first he's a don't care, he's a party guy, and then this child comes along and
slowly
changes everything.
He changes,
and by the time the film ends, we see him
as a dad. We just see this is a dad,
and we see the process. Like, it's not abrupt. Like, I know this. I know that the title is an instant dad.
But
it took that
It took
emotional
time.
journey, I
Yeah.
felt it, and I feel like that is really, really beautiful. And if we can connect with the characters we see,
Yeah.
I mean that
Guys, if you
means
can hear some sounds in the background, those are my cats. They're fight. What are they fighting? Anyway,
Yep.
sorry.
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I was saying like the character arc. Yeah? So once you see the moment we meet a character, it is not the same way we meet them at the end. Something has changed in them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we connect. And that's why I say like this was a very
beautiful story.
Very beautiful, well written.
I remember when you told me we should talk about this film, and you told me it's a beautiful story. So when I watched it, I was like, I want to see what's beautiful about the story. And when I watched it, I was like, wow, I love the story. Nothing crazy, just family. And then no, we're used to so many stories having whatever conflict it is, we'll have a love story somewhere. I love the fact that this didn't heavily rely on that to propel it. It was just the relationship between a father and a daughter who are trying to connect now that they have met. They did not know they existed in each other's lives.
Yeah.
So that was very beautiful.
That was beautiful.
But that was very beautiful.
Yeah.
What did you think about when you first saw the trailer of this film?
So one thing that interested me was the soundtrack. I'm really big on, and this is what I say. I think I say this so many times. I've done it only on one of my films, but I hope to do it on more. Like I really love original scores in films. So when I had that, and I'm like that song stuck with me. I'm like, I just want to be a good guy.
Yeah.
I just want to be a good man for you. And when what I'm seeing, and when I watch the film, I'm like, yeah, literally. So it was really beautiful. I'm like, I can't wait to watch this. So the trailer was beautiful. Like I said, it's very decent. It looks good. The lighting was amazing. The set design.
Yeah, great work.
Yeah, you'd actually feel. You would feel. And then the story. They sold me the story. Yeah. From the trailer, and I'm like, I want to see this.
I want to watch that.
I want to watch that.
I think I was a bit misled. I don't know whether it's the cover. The poster has Tori, Hannah, and Blessing, and I was like, it's an instant dad, so probably they'll meet somewhere and become a family. And then I watch it, I'm like, wait, this is your cousin? I wasn't disappointed. I was just surprised. I wasn't disappointed. I was just surprised. Like, okay, not a love story. So you're not. This is your cousin. You're not in love. Good story. Good story. Yeah,
right. That was different.
That was different, and we like different, and it's different in a kind of way that it's a very Kenyan story. And I think I said this also lastly in my podcast. I love when a story feels Kenyan. Like nothing is so new to me. I'm like, I don't think something like that would happen.
Feel like it's alienated.
Yeah, exactly. So like, oh yeah, this is a very good Kenyan story. Like it gives for me, like after watching the film, it gives me the illusion of this is definitely what a millennial would be, raising a Gen Alpha, a guy that age who's not yet ready to settle down, who just wants to have fun. Doesn't matter what kind of issues he has, because for this one, clearly it was grief and he was trying to avoid feeling something. And he said it himself, I think almost close to the end when he was talking to the cousin. And wow, I just lost my trail of thought. I was going on so well.
And then the cats did the thing.
Oh yeah. I was talking about the millennial raising, and you could tell, I think that when I think about it, I'm like, this makes sense. This would be what a millennial would be with a Gen Alpha, because we're trying to be the cool parents. Yeah. Oh shit, we're now the parents.
We are now the parents. This is what I realized yesterday when I was home. I was at my brother's place, and we're like the entire family were home, and we have 2 Gen Alphas in the house. And now even the things they watch, the kind of music, like they're so into this Kina BTS guys, and I'm like, so they're
the same for my brother.
They're asking us like, how comes you guys don't know
Yeah.
ignore them. So looking at it, we're joking with my brothers because we were now in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it was my two brothers, my brother's wife and I, we were cooking. And then the kids, are just playing around the house. And then my dad is in the living room. And I'm like, wait, we are actually the adults. Like, look at us, we're in the kitchen talking about adult stuff while preparing dinner. And like, there are kids around. I'm like, what? I think, where did time go? But it was so beautiful. It was so, like this Gen Alphas.
Yeah.
And I see how they relate now, how they relate with their grandpa, now my dad. I'm just like, wow, you guys, you did not relate with us like that.
Like, I know.
What is happening?
Right?
What is happening?
You shouted at me when I touched something. Now you're okay, fine. It's
they're
all
best
right.
friends.
They're best friends.
They're best friends. And I'm
Damn.
like, it's so cute. It's really cute. And I'm like, wow.
Okay.
So I see that. I see that. Like, this is, this is just a guy who, like you said, he's not ready to settle down.
Yeah.
And we would see that. I would see even the boys club. Yeah. So he has a group of friends. And you see from the boys club, there is one who has multiple baby mamas, and they actually just make fun of him.
Killed me. I really wanted to see Jennifer Gatter. You should have showed us this baby mamas at least two.
Yeah.
Like Kandile from what is it called, Young Famous and Africa.
Yes.
Like show us at least two baby mamas.
Can we see them?
Can you see them?
The way they describe them, it's like they're trouble.
Yeah.
It's like that trouble. And I mean, he has more than one, definitely.
Yeah.
That guy's trouble.
Yeah.
So I really liked the concept of the boys club.
Yeah.
I just wished we could see more of that. The relation between him and his friends.
Yeah.
Because most of the time they would only meet up when, they're drinking, which I agree. But I don't think men only hang out in bars.
Yeah. Right.
Men hang
guys,
out in
right?
Yeah, right. Like in barber shops and stuff. Like these are places, or the garage.
Yeah.
I mean, there are different places, or car wash. See, there are different places where men hang out. It just doesn't necessarily have to be.
Sorry, guys.
It doesn't necessarily have to be the bar. So the bar scenes, we could have changed them. Still have the same people.
Yeah.
But if we take this conversation away from the bar, let's take it to a barber shop. How is it? Like, I really long to see these scenes in a Kenyan film where like it's a barber shop and they're just talking. Yeah,
because it happens normally. It happens
a lot, and men open up a lot when they're having a haircut.
Yeah, like, have you seen how close men are to their barbers?
Yes,
they
don't
never cheat. I know.
You
can cheat on your woman, but you won't cheat on your barber, my friend. I want that relationship you have with your hairstylist, with your barber.
Right, like they will travel. Like maybe they will change places.
Yeah,
but he would still travel to go to that
barber.
Yeah,
I know of a guy who does his locks, and he moved places. If you're going to listen to this, you know I'm talking about. He moved places from uptown, and he's gone further into Kiambu, and he still goes where he used to go to his loctician. I'm like,
yeah,
you couldn't find another one.
I mean, there is beautiful friendship between men, like in a barbershop. So if that conversation was taken somewhere else, what would they talk about? Plus, I needed to see more. Also, there's the guy who saved mom. Like that was a beautiful story there.
Yeah,
and that was smart.
It was quite smart. I loved it, and I loved how Blessing acted. Like, for a minute at a time, like I was like, June. What was her name? Stacy.
Yeah,
in the film. Yeah. I've worked with June before. I think that's why I called her by her name.
It was Stacy.
It was Stacy. So I almost believed, when mama yake amepiga. Yeah, you remind me every 9 months that you carried me in your womb. I'm like, only a mom would ask that. Kumbe is such an girlfriend, such an African, such a Kenyan mom. And I was like, and then I'm like, yo, it's your friend.
Imagine.
I honestly agree with you. I would have really wanted to see their relationship, because we agreed they looked like they were closer among the boys club.
Yes.
They look like they were besties, because even when he found out that he had a daughter, he told this guy first.
Yep.
Which means they're definitely closer. So I guess we would have loved to see more of that.
Yeah. But it was beautiful. Love the concept.
Yeah.
Like I said, love the concept, because you won't really expect him, the character. What was the character's name? Like, I keep calling him Blessing. The character of the
Ricky,
song.
Ricky, Bakachu, Ricky.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, that was a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love to see, like Ricky, the way he's been portrayed. Definitely, he looks like the guy who has a boys' club, and it's like, you get my guy Tunde Sherehe.
Yeah.
But like I said, yeah, that would have been nice. Could we see more of that?
More of the boys' club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in different perspectives.
Not just from the club.
Yeah. And also when you're talking about the best friend who saved his mom, I liked how that mom concept was a bit constant through the film, because you remember later on when now he's so broken, and the mom calls. So mom calls.
Mom calls, yeah. Mom in quotes.
Yeah, mom in quotes calls, and he thinks it's mom. So it's like, hi mom, when you change number? So I felt like that was a beautiful moment to just have a heart to heart.
Really, yeah. It had already opened that door for you.
Yes. So that was a beautiful moment to see, because I believe men have beautiful friendship. Like, I look at how men are friends, and I'm like, you know what? I would love to have such kind of friendship, because they're very open with each other.
Yeah.
They tell each other the truth. And we know how men are not vulnerable.
Yeah.
They don't really talk about their emotions. But that would have been a beautiful moment, because he was very vulnerable.
At that time, yeah.
At that time, he was very vulnerable, and he just needed someone to talk to. Like, I understand the fact that we always say, like, men don't show their emotions, but that was a point for us to change the narrative.
Yep,
and say, how about he opens up to this boy, and then now afterwards, mwambie sukujie drinks, like unaka kwa nyumba nini.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just need to have that one conversation with someone who would actually listen to you.
Yep.
Sometimes you just need someone to listen.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, that's so personal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Girl, do you want to talk about something? Are you okay?
Let's take a glass of water.
Did you hear swallowing?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe let's talk about also the costume, makeup, set design, props, location, everything. Like all of that, making the whole film a success. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Because I know I have a lot to say about the costume.
Yeah. That is your department.
Yeah.
But I would say, especially, let's start with the location. The locations were beautiful. I just wish that the club scene we could see a bit more. It felt really constrained. It was like close up sana, so it just felt like I needed to be free. Like, I mean, this is a place where, and also it's a place where Ricky is Ricky, like he's free, he's himself. So I would understand if the house felt a little bit
constrained.
So I don't know if that's in the cinematography bit, but I just felt like, just to tell the character more.
Yeah.
Where is he at home?
Yeah.
And the club was there. So I wanted to see that space, like the entire space. He owns the space and he owns the ladies.
Yeah.
And he had some very nice pickup lines. Jennifer.
We can tell. Are you alone? I have interest.
That was nice.
Hello, how are you doing? Fine. No, I didn't ask what you look like. Whoa. Yeah, that was nice.
That was a nice pickup line.
Nice pickup lines. Jennifer, we can tell your work.
Yeah, and guys, if guys are watching this, you're listening to this, go watch the film. Get some lines, man.
Get some lines to use out here.
Yeah, but the lines were beautiful.
And he delivered them beautifully. Like, you could feel them.
Yeah. I think Blessing
you can have pickup lines and then somebody says them to you and you're like, what? What?
Yeah, but Blessing really did well.
Yeah,
he played with the words and
from those lines. Amazing.
That was beautiful.
I felt those lines.
Yeah.
We come as a package. I'm like, well, in that case, I'm like, Blessing, Ricky.
Come slowly.
Slowly.
So the locations were beautiful. I love the rural home, like mom's place.
Yeah, definitely felt like mom's place.
It
Yeah,
felt
like shows.
Yes, and it was a breath of fresh air, quite literally.
Yes,
because I saw how we saw like the the city, the clubbing, the pizza, the ice cream, like we just say that. But when we went to the countryside,
yeah,
I even felt like Hannah, that was Amy, the character Amy.
Yes, Amy. Yeah,
Amy felt she felt at home and she really loved, and I loved the mom. Because at that point where she switched to cow, and I'm like, yes, slave.
Yes,
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that for Kenyan films. I love that. Like, I love that authenticity, because now we're looking at 3 different generations.
Yeah,
there is just a way your mom will be like, oh yeah, very nice, but ukimkosea kidogo, she switches and you'll be like, hapa ni kubaya.
Hapa na kumeharibika mambo.
I said that was beautiful. And I love how we introduce this aspect about we're just we're having authenticity. Like, honestly, ukienda home, that is how mom ataongea. You won't talk na mom English the entire time.
Utaongea na English the entire. She will start talking in vernacular.
Yes.
And also that scene where Ricky calls I think he was heartbroken or something, and the mom calls him.
Yeah.
And he says, "Form." I think by this time he thought it was his best friend.
Yes.
And the mom goes, "Form ni kwa siatia." Form ni kusema nini? I hope Kamas have said it. I hope I've said it nicely. But that part was gold for me. It was like, that sounds like a mom. Because I think if I call the mom and said something that she's not used to, it's like, in Kimeru, hiyo ni nini unaniambia wewe? Form ni nini? So I think that really played out nicely.
I also loved Ricky's reaction.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit,
yeah,
it's mom. Okay,
yeah,
mom.
Yeah.
And then the mom was like, kwani kuji kuniona kwanza nimesikia. Yeah, nimesikia. Ebu leta your grandchild wangu. That was so beautiful. That was a nice way of introducing the mom. I mean, how else would you introduce your mother? She's had something you haven't told her.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, what is this I'm hearing?
What is this I'm hearing?
You don't come to see me, and all of a sudden I have a grandchild that I don't know about.
Yeah.
Come home. I mean, that's a beautiful way of introducing the mom. And she performed really
well.
One of my favorite scenes with the mom was now that time when he had heart-to-heart with the mother, and the mom was like, every girl needs their dad. Like, once she believes like my father loves me, nothing can stop her.
Yeah, she
becomes unstoppable. And I was like, that was
so beautiful.
Oh my God. That tugged at my heart, because I always say every girl deserves a father.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're out there and you know you have a daughter, I mean, just be there. Just be there. You have no idea how much you're the first love.
Yeah.
To this one. And sadly, some fathers are the ones who break their daughter's heart.
Yep.
They're the first men to break their hearts, and they never get over it. So when people, like, I hear people throw that word around in this generation, like, oh, you have daddy issues. And like, do you ever sit down to really
think about
what it meant for this girl? And that scene with now Amy talking to Ricky, and I mean, I've watched this movie like twice, and that scene I still cry when she's like, what is wrong with me?
What is wrong with me?
Why
am I that bad?
Why didn't you want me? And I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like, yo.
I'm like, what? I don't know how I'd feel if my daughter would ask me that.
Yeah.
And I understand with Ricky's story, and like, he didn't know. But for those who actually know, and you're just like, I don't want to be in her life. Like, do you know what this young girl
goes through? Yeah. What it means for her.
Yeah, that moment when she asked, she was like, all my friends have fathers, and I kept asking my mom,
where was mine?
I needed my father. And that I'm telling you, Jennifer wrote this film so beautiful, like the lines, my God,
so personal.
The lines is so amazing. Well, there's this other one when she said, like, all along I thought my father's an astronaut, or he works in the Navy,
lost somewhere in the ocean.
My goodness. But I didn't think that my father didn't want
me. Oh,
wow.
Gosh.
I was
Talia,
that was and the performance when Hannah really carried.
Hannah carried, like Hannah and Blessing, for me, they were the film. Yep. Those two.
Yep. They understood the assignment.
Yeah, they understood that. They complemented each other really well.
Yeah.
And I could feel how like both characters relied on the other without relying on each other at the same time.
Yep.
We will act like it was great when they were together and also individually. Ricky was still as good, like when he's with his boys, he's Ricky.
Yep.
And when he comes back home, he's Amy's dad.
Yep.
That was beautiful.
That was nice.
Jennifer, you did a good one.
I will keep saying that over and over again because in all honesty, here your flowers, props to you. The writing was so nice.
Amazing.
And you got the best people to deliver that.
Yep.
Because Hannah was spot on. Blessing was spot on. I was just like, yes. So, we were talking about locations, right?
Look at us.
Yeah. Went back to the story. So, like I said, like that.
Like I say, they all build into the story. So,
yep,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a set, the way we were at Ushago, hey, the chicken scene, it was so authentic for me because that is exactly what my grandmother would say when we went to Shags, and she'd say, "Kimbizeni kuku moja mshike niwapike sapa."
Yeah.
That was correct. Only that she'd probably not ask us to do it with our dad at that time.
Yeah.
But it made sense for this scene. There was already like a bond, a sort of sweet connection between Amy and Ricky.
Yes.
So it made sense. And when Amy asked Ricky to let the chicken go, I was like, utawachilia kuku. And in my head, I told myself, if that mama does not raise chaos on this one, she's not a real Kenyan mom.
Yeah. The entire time. That was the time she went purely kao.
Purely kao Kenyan mom.
Like nin mwambie mshike
kuku ati mnawachilia. Sasa tutakula ugali na mala. Hakuna hata nyama kwa hii mess.
Imagine.
I love that scene.
Yeah. And
it
also
makes sense.
How, like, I don't know, like I say, this script was very beautifully written because look at a simple scene like, chasing the chicken. So what, by the end of the scene, there was that moment where Ricky was like, "You're an empath, just like your mom."
Like your mom.
Like, she reminded him
of Patricia.
Yeah. And I was like, that was, and that is, such moments are when I see in a character, I'm like, I see the growth.
Yeah.
Because now he's softening up.
Yeah. He's allowing himself to feel things.
Yeah. He's being vulnerable. And what a beautiful character to watch, other than someone who is vulnerable and very authentic and in tune with his emotions.
Yep.
So beautiful.
Isn't that what every girl wants?
Right? Okay, this looks like it's gonna turn into a therapy session.
I know. Let's stop that. Let's talk about costume.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to fight with a person who did Ricky's costume with office scene. What was going? Why did he have to have that kofia every time? I mean, we can see Ricky looks like those guys who would say, "Cheers, Baba."
Yes, you guy my guy.
You guy my guy.
Let's go to Vasha.
Alafu mnampea kofia. Lies. I was like,
he's the life of the party.
He's the life of the party. You cannot give him that kofia every time.
Especially at the office. And you're actually the one who made me realize that today. I think, like I said, today was like the third time I'm watching it.
Yeah.
So the other time, I didn't really pay so much attention to it. But when you were screaming, I'm like, yeah, I know Nkasa with wardrobe. I know this is her department.
I was like, no.
Kidogo po.
You agree with me though,
yeah,
right?
Yes, yeah. I saw that
I was
and
like,
I'm like,
office scene, unapewa kofia, the sweater.
Yeah.
You look like you just had a rough night, which I understand. You're an instant dad, but we saw around that you have a help in the house. and you're preparing for a presentation, and I guess from the film they tend to make it look like it's a serious presentation for this client.
Yeah.
So even when he's doing it, we're not so sure it's that important to him. Even from what he's wearing, because imagine that carries, like, you're able to tell how important this is. So hiyo kofia ilimkasirisha bana. And menda na tu ushago like suyachata kwa gari Joy imewaka bado anakimbizana nayo na kuku lies but my eye Joy ni hiyo kofia. Next time don't do that.
The problem was anytime he would go to the boys club, he would dress like him.
Yes.
Yeah, he would akona sijui chain, he has like just silver chain. He's wearing like a mustard. That was nice. Nice. Huku kwingine kwa ofisi ndo kidogo.
I was like, yo, what is this? What is this?
But we understand. Maybe they're trying to see the transition from him being.
I did not see it. I refused. I did not see it. It was just. It didn't have any purpose. It just misguided our thoughts about it.
Ama ni vile alikuwa ameiva like na sideways hivi.
Mimi nilikuwa inanibona na mama mwenye kenako.
Angekana nyuma ingekuwa better.
Swampe like literally a cup. Hiyo kofia mzee Ojwanga alikuwa anavaa. Mimi niliona niko like, what is this? What is this? Anyway, going to Amy's costume. I loved her hair. Yeah. Definitely very 10-year-old.
Yes.
Her dress going to the baptism, very, very, very 10-year-old. Like that was
beautiful.
Fine. For the cousin Leah, there's nothing much to
talk about.
Yeah, there's nothing much to talk about. The mom, Dara, was fine. Was fine. Yeah. The mom was fine.
Do we see any other people?
No. Maybe the boys, and they were in a club. There's nothing much you could think about it.
We couldn't really tell the different characters, or rather different personalities from how they dress. Because it just felt like that they're just all dressing the same. Yeah, and also the
shorts were tight. The shorts were tight, so I felt like that also, like, if the shorts are tight, you're not able to quickly differentiate people in terms of character by what they're wearing. Except for Ricky, because now we see him a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. So I guess that's why we're not able to tell that. What's your favorite line?
Wow, I think I've said almost all of them. But there's this scene where the first time they're bonding, and he was like, I mean, the people who were born in 2013.
Yeah. Why haven't we talked about that scene? That scene was good.
That scene, it actually started with the prayer, and I was like, that was very beautiful.
That was very good.
It was really nice. It was
you need to say moment. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The name of
and
Jesus.
She's so stunned.
She's so stunned. It's a 10-year-old, and this man got to like, lazima nifanye.
Yeah. And what I loved about that scene is like, tuliona tu kiburi ya babake.
Yep.
Hapo. Like, this is yours.
Yeah, this is definitely you.
This is definitely you.
This is your child.
Because I mean, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So there was that. The other ones that, like what Amy said. I mean, why didn't you want me? Like,
Oh yeah.
Was I that?
Those were beautiful lines. Yeah.
And they were deep, and they were heavy.
You could. I loved how she was shaking like a 10-year. Nikatu like. Can I give you a hug?
I know, right? I hope they did. I hope Jennifer did. After that scene, I hope you guys just gave her a hug. You are loved. You are wanted. You are worthy.
You are cherished.
You cherished.
I know. That scene was like.
It must have been hard filming that.
Yeah, I can imagine. As a child,
man.
I mean, I don't know her background, but.
Yeah, but
I can imagine to be able to pull that out
because she represented so many. How many 10-year-olds out here do you feel like they would watch this and be like, I mean, I don't have my dad. And it happens. The most common one is like when you're with your friends. You're like, oh, my mom and dad. My dad is calling me. Oh, but you're like, why don't I have this?
Especially on weekends. Babangu amekuja.
Babangu ameniletea sijui. I'm like,
oh yeah.
But that was one of my favorite. What was your favorite?
The pickup line.
The pickup lines.
Are you alone? Because I have interest.
There was this other one. Actually, I've come to arrest you. You remember that scene?
I was like, Dad, are you a criminal? I'm like, yo, second-hand embarrassment. Is that you?
Cute. But that was cute. I liked how that girl handled it.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, oops, not now. Yeah, like I'd come with my handcuffs, and everything.
Yeah, it was definitely very real because it would have been silly if this girl still continued. I'm here to arrest your daddy. Like we're taking definitely adulting. You know, like I mean, definitely an adult. Yes. How an adult would behave. Okay, there's a child here. We cannot keep doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take my leave. Bye. So yeah, that made sense. And definitely nice. I agree with you. That scene, I guess the conversation where they ran after the chickens, I really like that scene where the Shosho was giving them a tongue lash. Yani nini watume kuku alafu yada. I love that. And definitely that scene where Amy was expressing herself. It felt like a very mature conversation to have for a 10-year-old. Yeah. But at the same time, it's definitely what I think a 10-year-old was saying.
Yeah, it was definitely needed.
Yeah.
It was needed because I feel they depicted a typical Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
Yes, because they want answers. They want to know. It's not, they're not like how we were raised. You can't talk to your parent like that. Exactly. You can't even ask your parent questions.
Even ask questions.
But for this generation, they're like, no, it doesn't make sense. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense, yeah.
And I really feel we should embrace that. Like, just make it make. They are old enough to understand. They grow so fast these days. You don't really need to, beat around the bush or something. Yeah. Just
have the conversation.
Just have the conversation. Yeah. Yeah. It saves a lot. And I think that is what I feel like millennial parents are trying to do. Yeah. They're trying to do things differently. Like, instead of just my child is also, you get to understand that your child is a human being. Yeah. And they have their own rights. Like, and I think that's what scares me with having a baby, because I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. So you want to tell me you'll be in my house and you will have your own opinion? Yes. And
which is what you couldn't have in your parents' house. And it's hard because it was a pattern for us. You grew up with that. Now it has to be different because we definitely want to be better parents than our parents were. Not that we're saying our parents weren't good parents, but there are definitely some childhood traumas that we got from that we don't want to pass on to our own children. So definitely, that's how we're talking about kids. Oh my God.
Now we're talking about kids.
Oh my God.
Every time. Is it about time we get?
Go shut up. So yeah, like I was saying, that was a very mature
very mature conversation.
That was a very mature that was a very mature conversation. I really loved that because it actually reminded me, there's this podcast where I watched, and these two kids, this family had two kids. One kid was vegetarian, the other one loved meat. So the vegetarian one was the older one, and the podcast was able to, like, we were able to listen to these two boys giving their opinions. I don't know how, I think they were like 7 and something. They were not very old, but they were below 10. And they were able to really express themselves. And it really surprised me because the one who was vegetarian, we had him having a conversation with the mom, and he would say, "Mom, so..." And the mom would explain to him rather that, you understand that I know you want to be vegetarian, but not everybody wants that. It was not because if I think about it, like back then with our parents, utaambiwa tutakula nyama. Wewe ndo utasema I'm the one looking for money and you want to tell me that you don't want all of us to eat meat in this house. Are you mad? It was really eye-opening. So the minute I saw that scene, I thought of that podcast and I was like, this is great. Now this is where we're headed for sure.
Yes.
Because I can, for a fact, our relationships will not be the same.
It won't be the same.
That, like, this film is a representation of what parenting is going to look like in the next 5-10 years to come. Yeah, because we're back we there. Are going to be the parents.
We are the parents,
and this is how we're going to be. Like, I definitely want to have a conversation with my children before deciding nitawapiga nini wote nini.
Like, can we talk?
Can we talk about this? Can I understand where you're coming from?
Yeah.
So, and I could see also Ricky's face when the daughter was saying that he just stood there flabbergasted. Oh my God. This child just told me what she felt.
And she walked away. And she was like,
I am not.
You don't want me?
Yeah.
Now I don't want you.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I have to be strong.
I have to be strong. Mommy would want me to be strong.
Hey, and I love nilikuwa nashikilia.
Mimi hapo sasa nilikuwa natoka. I'm just like, okay.
Because kadhani film ni fagatero to relax.
I loved how the mom was an anchor to her.
Yeah.
The mom was like, we would see how strong the mother was through the child.
Yes.
Because everything she would always refer to the mom. And this is the beautiful scene with the conflict where, and we're going back again.
It's fine, yeah.
And this is how they tackled grief, you know. So there was a trigger. Sometimes with grief, like
the tantrum. Oh,
yes, I love that scene. Yeah.
What is wrong with you? No, what is wrong? What's your problem? Yes. Or like, you're delivering high performance.
The performance
so
is
good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, like when we talk about, we don't really talk about grief.
Yeah.
In an African community, I don't know, it's very toxic, but we don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't know how to grieve. You don't know what loss brings to someone. So it's, and people grieve differently. Yeah. So there times you would feel like you've actually made progress. There times you'd feel like, yeah, I'm good. I'm done with this. It's fine. I've accepted. It's cool. We move on. But then one thing happens and it triggers everything. And that's what happened to Amy. Like something as simple as let's go to church. You need to be baptized. And this triggered her, and she's like, you see now all these things accumulating to this part. She was having a good time with the grandma, with the dad. Yeah. So it was a happy moment. For a moment she forgot. For a moment she forgot, like, my mom is not here.
Yeah.
And then that one sentence
triggered everything back.
Yeah. And her reaction, you see, every action has a reaction.
Yeah.
So there was that, and her reaction was just the hair, but it was deeper than that. It wasn't just a tea. Oh, you don't know how to make my hair. It's supposed to be the oil and then the conditioner. So something as simple as just making the hair, but there is an underlying thing. That's why I say this script was so beautiful written.
It was well thought of. Like everything is connected to everything.
Yes,
from beginning to the end.
Yep. So you can imagine that triggered her, and then the conversation that followed. Like I love how let's talk about the script writing. That part, like almost all scenes that Jennifer wrote, it's like we start off in a very easy way.
Yeah.
But then by the time to normalize, there is that underlying message, and you're like, so this was it.
Yeah.
So that was one of also my beautiful scenes, because once they started talking, and so she was throwing tantrums. The father is like, I don't know
what is your problem?
What's your problem? What do you want?
Yeah.
I'm trying here. Come on, I'm trying. You said what do I need to put? A conditioner, and I mean the hair conditioner and then the oil.
Yeah.
What is it? But then she just mentioned, like, it's mom
would know how to do my hair.
Yeah.
Mom would always put the oil first before the conditioner. Like,
and then he's like, do you miss your mom? And at that moment, is when they really connected, because at this moment, these are two people who have lost their best friend.
Yeah.
So Ricky actually opened up, like for the first time. Remember the mom saying, you never talked about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never talked about your dad.
Your dad, yeah.
You're just a small boy. You didn't know how to handle grief. And the mom was like, so he was like, you're also grieving.
Yeah.
And like, I should have done something.
That was beautiful.
I'm telling you. So you can imagine this scene now brings these two people together from something very simple.
Yeah.
And then we get deeper and deeper, and the resolution.
Yeah.
When they went, outside to the stream and stuff, and they're like, do you think your mom and my dad are in heaven
together?
And that was beautiful.
Yeah,
very beautiful
story. Because I think what every scriptwriter should learn from this script, rather this story, is a story does not have to be very complex and very complicated. No big twists and turns. It's how you tell the story.
Yes.
Any story is beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember somebody telling me, it's just how you can tell me how you left home going to work in two different ways. You can tell it to me in form of a story. You can just I went to work today, or I was going to work today, and you won't believe what happened to the stage. And by the time you get to work, it's a whole story.
Yeah.
So even the simplest of stories that we think of, we can tell them. We can tell these Kenyan stories.
Yes.
We can tell these simple Kenyan stories, but beautifully, because it is possible. Jennifer has proven that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. What? Now we're concluding. What would you rate this film out of 10?
Oh, wow! Do we have to do that?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Okay. I'll give it a very strong 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 9.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
The 1 is for that heart. That heart has taken away my 1. It's wrong.
Yeah,
one.
for me,
But yeah.
I just felt like there were some scenes that were unnecessarily long.
Yeah. You're going to change it to an 8.5, girl.
Unnecessarily long.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was that. But a point in the boom mic, and I'm like,
oh
yeah,
really?
there was a scene I saw boom.
Oh
like,
no.
No, we don't do that.
We don't do that now. No, I did not. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why my eyes just picked that. I'm like, you should not have.
Reminds me of 40 sticks. Okay. Let's not do that. We're going to get cancelled.
Yeah,
let's not do that.
Yeah, and also like the things I talked about. Just characterization. Like there were so many other aspects.
Yeah.
We, they could have done better. But man, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Come on. That's beautiful.
It's amazing, yeah. Yeah.
So that's a strong one.
That's a very strong 7.
Very.
If Tracy gives you a strong 7, you're doing well.
Whoa! Oh my God. Please don't do that. Don't come for me.
Don't come for her.
No, please.
I will fight you myself. Anyway.
But
I remember because I remember us talking about that scene where they were in the kitchen with the dad playing with flour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, let's just start with the first scene. The first scene, they're sitting up the breakfast. It was too long. I mean, we
stayed with John and Jenka making breakfast for.
And I think
I'm like
the entire score.
Yeah. No.
We listened to the entire score.
Yeah.
And that is how you're introducing us to the story. Like, I prefer pacing. Like, tell us who are these people. Introduce us to these guys. Who were they? That was beautiful, but also the dialogue needed a little bit of twitch. Like, yes, it was beautiful. I don't know if it's the performance because there was a bit of repetition. Yeah. So we would stay somewhere. Like, there was a point I felt very uncomfortable for Hannah because we would stay in in an emotion for a very long time when she's like, no, you don't want me, and it's like, I want, and like, no, you don't want me, and like it felt like we, okay, the point has been made, so let's go.
Let's move on.
Go. So I don't know if that was the script or was the performance.
But let me ask you something. I don't know. I thought of it that way, and then again, I thought of it as a 10-year-old trying to tell me something. So I thought maybe this 10-year-old wants to say something different, but keeps saying the same words.
Yeah, could be that.
It could be, but
so what I meant was there's this other scene. You see the first scene when they had the confrontation. So the next scene when he's coming to to take her.
Yeah,
there was that as well. We were like, we've already seen that. Another point was
I get you.
Was that point with his job, we'd already established that.
Yeah.
That was your point, actually.
Yeah. We already saw that you're doing SEO, yada 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 yada. I am a digital marketing man. I'm like,
we've already seen.
We know that. Yeah. Why are you telling that again? You don't have to say it. Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So just a little bit of twitching, but overall, beautiful. Loved the script. Loved the story. I mean,
amazing.
We should do more of that.
Yeah.
Jennifer should give us more of that.
Okay. Jennifer, I hope you get to listen to this. And you hear our sentiments.
Yeah.
I think have I worked? She's the one who did This Is Life. Yeah. No.
This Is Life. I know.
This is Us. I don't remember the name.
I know the current one that's on Showmax. A Better Life.
A Better Life.
Yes, A Better Life on Showmax.
Okay.
And that's why I say I've seen a growth. And I'm like, this is beautiful. Like you literally see, and that's why I think that's one thing I'm proud of her for, because you always strive.
Yeah.
The next film that you do, let it be better.
Let it be better.
And she has proven that
every time.
From the time of Nairobi. Like, okay, I haven't watched anything she's done before Nairobi, but what I can say, like, from the time of Nairobi, I think that's how I knew Jennifer. Yeah, I've never worked with her before, but
I think I was an extra in one of her films.
Oh,
yeah.
But I follow her on social media, and I'm like, she's vibes.
Yeah,
she's good vibes. She's good vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's kudos. That's
to the entire team.
Yes, congratulations.
They did well. You did well, guys.
Everyone put their A game, and you would feel the cohesion in the entire film. Like, you just feel the director and the DOP were in sync. Yeah,
for sure.
You would say that.
Like every shot was well thought of.
Yeah,
and it said something. That added up to that builds the story.
Yes.
So yes, I agree with that.
Oh, lovely. The entire the sound was nice.
Yeah, we love original scores, like Tracy said. That was amazing.
That was really amazing.
Definitely more Kenyan films. If you're a Kenyan filmmaker, think of doing a film, definitely think about original scores as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
To sequence in the piano.
I mean, like, what is that? Shut up. Like with some Kenyan music.
Exactly. And I usually say, I think maybe this is also another. I've actually realized I usually say things a lot. Where do I say this? It's not like
you tell me.
By that, maybe I'm just talking to my boyfriend, and that's the only person I tell all these things.
Yeah,
and I feel like I'm telling everyone. But the thing is, I usually say the entertainment industry in Kenya. I mean, if we merge, like if we just collaborate, the music, and the film industry.
Yeah.
If we collaborate and have original scores, like
I
liked what Click Bang did.
Yeah.
And actually had calligraph in the film.
And I loved it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
If we can have more of that. Because in all honesty, the musicians in Kenya have like people know them.
Yeah.
A lot. Like for filmmakers, we have to try extra hard. Unless you have Kiki. And so people follow you on social media because of Kiki.
Yeah.
You're not really known as an actor. Or, like if someone would see you, they won't really say this is a Kenyan actor.
Yeah.
But for a musician, they're known. Yeah,
definitely.
So
Yeah.
Kina Bien, Kina Sijui Nani, upcoming artists, like if we could collaborate with original with Kenyan filmmakers. Yeah. You see, like something you've seen Volume, yeah, like the trailer.
Yeah.
And I would hear that, and I would hear like an original score.
Yeah, and you're like,
and
yeah, definitely want to watch that.
Yes, and we would see the I mean, for those of us who follow these guys on social media, like Tosh and Boogie, like we'd see them in the studio, and they're recording this. And this is a series about a musician. Yeah. So I mean, I'm like, yes, can we have more of that? Yep. So that was really beautiful. I'm so looking forward to Volume. Yep.
Me too.
I saw the trailer today, and I'm like,
yeah, it's coming out on the 20th of December. In case you did not know.
Yeah. Again, on Netflix.
On Netflix. Imagine Kenyan films are on Netflix now.
And they're doing well.
So Kenyans, you cannot tell us that you're not able to watch our films.
Yep, you really
They're on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And that's accessible to if you watch the CG Game of Thrones, CG what? I don't know where you even got to watch those things. You can now watch Kenyan films on Netflix. Support K, support us.
I mean, and you can see how, like, I mean, we have beautiful stories. Go check out An Instant Dad.
Yeah.
You will love it. And tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So that has been an amazing conversation. Gosh, who knew we'd go this long?
Right?
Yeah. Turns out we had a lot to say.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
But it was nice.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
So, Bestie, do you have anything else to add?
I just want to say thank you to the entire Variant films.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks for this, because well, for me, probably I'm fortunate enough to have grown with a father.
Yeah.
But I know friends, I know people.
Yeah.
I know my niece,
yeah,
who would watch this, and she actually did. We watched with her yesterday.
No.
And
yeah.
she just kept saying, "Act vizuri, act vizuri." But I was like, there's so many 10-year-olds, because my niece is 11.
Yeah.
And she's, probably going through the same thing. She asked us once about the dad. Yeah, and my dad had a clever way to answer. And my dad was just like, you see, you have your grandpa, your grandma, you have your auntie, you have your 2 uncles. So some people don't have their dad, but they have their grandparents. And for me, I don't have my parents. Yeah. So at least you're lucky you have a grandparent. Yeah, and we are the ones who are here, and we're the ones who love you.
No.
And she's never asked about the dad
Again.
I'm
sure she will, though.
She will, yeah. In future. But we'll cross that bridge
when we get there.
Yeah, so I'm like,
those conversations are tough to have.
Yeah, so I'm like, this film it's healing. It's healing.
Yeah.
It's really healing. It's very therapeutic. And I would urge Kenyans to really watch it.
Yep.
I mean, there is so much you will learn when you as a person. I saw myself in all these characters.
Yeah.
All these characters. So there is something for everyone. When you soul search, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I can't believe a 10-year-old was just made me feel like I really need to soul search and be like, what is it?
Yeah.
Just that question when she's like, I mean, what is wrong with me?
What is wrong with me? Am I that bad?
Yeah. So that was a wake-up call to me as well. I'm like, how I'm relating to people, my relationships. And I'm like, sometimes you also need to look at yourself and be like, maybe it's actually not the other person. Maybe it's just you.
Maybe it's just you.
Yeah. So this film, I mean, brilliant film.
No, I had
loved
not
it.
thought of it that way. Damn. You're getting deep.
I'm getting deep. Let us run away from yeah, but that is how I felt like at the end, and that's what I usually say. Even with my films, the films that we do, like, before I put a story out there, I'm like, what do I want the audience to feel when they walk out?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they've been entertained. We were thoroughly entertained.
Yeah.
We were educated. Yeah. But then, what is it that you want your people to feel?
Yeah.
And I felt like Jennifer nailed it on this.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it all, you have a feeling you like, I really need to connect with the people in my life. And I mean, that was just really beautiful. And I'm like, that is a mark of a great filmmaker. If you can tell this story and it resonates with people. And I mean, later I've watched it 3 times and I still feel the same emotion. I'm like, that was really dope. So
amazing.
Yeah, nikani sanaendelea kuongea rather 2 hours just but
no, like
I just want to say
this film does that to you.
Yeah,
just like, wow, like so beautiful, so healing.
It's so healing. It's so healing. And I feel like most people need to watch it. We really need to push it.
Yeah.
Really need to push it. So congrats to the entire team.
Yeah,
that was a job well done.
Job well done, guys. Job well done to the Avant Films team. Yep. So guys, that was it for today. Thank you so much for listening in. If you've gotten to this part, you're a true person.
Yeah, you're a G.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much for listening. Please hit the notification bell icon right somewhere. I know it's somewhere depending on where you're listening it from. And also my podcast is now on Google Podcast, not only on Spotify but also on Google Podcast.
Oh my God. And we have an X account.
Yes, and we have a Facebook account, Talk Film to Me. We have an Instagram account, Talk Film to Me. We have an X account, Talk Film to Me, at Talk Film to Me Pod. There's Talk Film Me to Me, which is not mine, and there's Talk Film to Me, which is mine. So follow us. And please listen, give us plays on Spotify. We'd really love to hear your thoughts about this. So please leave a comment in the comment section. Share this with your friends who love movies. If you haven't watched this, again, this is a really good film to watch. It's a healing movie.
Yep.
Yeah. It's heavy, but not in a heavy that will leave you heavy. It heals you. Yeah. So guys, thank you for listening, and it's a wrap for today. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Bye.